What is up? What is up? What is up? It's been a long ass minute. I think what kind of finally got me motivated to come out here was I looked at my YouTube Studio app and it was like 5 months since the last posted video. I was like, okay, yeah, I need to do something. So I bought myself a little bit of time. I might get interrupted a couple times to go help take care of baby boy, which I'm not gonna get into a life update right now. We're gonna get into doing some shit to the truck, and we'll touch on what's happening in life at the end of the video, so I don't lose everybody right off the bat. So today, what I'm gonna try to do, I tried to get the Low Country out like 2 or 3 weeks ago, and y'all saw that I did the NBS master swap, did the ABS delete, crimped all the lines up, bled everything. Everything was A1, had a pretty decent pedal. Got in it like 2 or 3 weeks ago. Pedal goes almost to the floor. You've got to pump it like 10 times to get any brake pressure. As soon as you let off the pedal, it's back to the floor. So I don't get it. I looked at it that day. The fluid is still perfectly at the full line where I filled it to. None of the bleeder screws are wet, like everything's tight. I can't see any of the brake lines having a leak anywhere, like nothing's wet or damp. So I don't know what happened. So hopefully I'm just gonna try to play it lucky. I don't really have a hand today, so I'm gonna attempt to bleed the brakes with the old vacuum deal that I bought for the dirt bikes. I'm gonna try to bleed the brakes. If I can get the brakes to get pretty solid, then I'm gonna keep pushing. If you remember me talking about I can't get the shifter to go down into manual, like I can get into third and I can get into second, but I can't get first. I looked into some things, and I think that little bitty bracket that's kind of like has a little curve in it that goes on the transmission where the shifter rod is to the cable. I think I have that like flipped the wrong way, and I've seen that if you have that flipped the wrong way, it doesn't actuate all the way down into first gear, and it's not actually a stretched shifter cable. So while I have it jacked up to bleed the brakes, I'm gonna try to flip that deal over and see if that helps me get first back. And then if I have enough time after that, I figured out how to align the doors. When I switched those electric doors on, I did new pins and bushings, and these doors are like way too low. Well, I looked into how to adjust them, and I didn't know it was this barbaric, but you literally are supposed to get a board under the bottom edge of the door and put a floor jack on it and literally jack the door up and like keep kind of tweaking and bending it until the door shuts the way it's supposed to shut. So didn't think that was a thing. Talked to a couple body shop guys, and they're like, yep, that's how we do it. And I'm like, okay, all right. So that's what I'm gonna try to shoot for today, and then I'll give you all a little update on life at the end of the video. But yeah, that's enough. Let's get to it. See if we get it first lick. We'll let it prime. Oof. Probably doesn't have enough voltage. Probably have to charge it again. Yep, not even enough. All right, so JK, let me hook the charger back up and there we go. Go ahead and cycle it. By me doing this, it primes the fuel pump each time I do it. Whenever it sits for a while, I usually do it a couple times, and she usually busts off first lick. See what we get. Nope, not enough. Alright, I'm starting to think that the battery is actually cooked, but we'll see. tried to backfire. What the fuck? Alright, I'm gonna let it idle for a minute, get it in the garage, and then I'm gonna hook it back up to the charger, and then we'll see if we can get the brake split. Well, getting under here, some defeating news. I thought I would look at the transmission first, and this is the linkage, you know, that connects the shaft on the transmission to the little linkage, and then, you know, your shift cable. Well, I was reminded that this bitch is, oh, now it wants to stay. Okay, it's very temperamental. It likes to pop off. But this cable doesn't go in far enough to pull second and first. So, like, I went through it a couple times, crawled back up top, did it with the shifter. So, I can only go park, reverse, neutral, drive, 3. And then I can put my hand on the shifter assembly up top and get it to go into 2, but I can't get any more than that. When you come down here and try to do that, this cable can't go far enough back to give me second and first. Like, the cable doesn't go far enough back. So I don't know if I have a stretch cable. I don't know if I have like some funky stuff going on, like these fittings aren't made for this side of the transmission. I don't know what I need to do right here, so I'm gonna dig into that a little bit more. I've never really fully researched it. The transmission pan gasket is not doing its job at all. And then I remember our drain pan bolt was foobarred. Me and James put like every trick in the book on that and couldn't get that drain bolt to come out. So I think the face of the, I don't know how you want to say it, the surface that the gasket sits on for the transmission pan, I think it's like warped. Like it's not flat. It has like dips and bows in it, so the gasket can't do its job. And I can't remember if it's a gasket or if it's silicone or what. Anyways, we're gonna try to bleed the brakes for now and see if we can get the pedal back. And if that's so, then I've realized that I can't really do much about the shifter right now. And then we'll see about bending at least one of the doors. Maybe I can get the second one, not sure. And then I also noticed that when you tilt this at this angle, the whole girl's leaking from back here also, and you can see the bottom of this pipe is wet, so all the leaks. So stoked to find that. That's very, very satisfying to find. Like alright, so got quite a bit of air out of the back too. Wheel cylinders, brake, whatever you want to call them. Couldn't get the driver's side bleeder screw loosened. It's on there and stripped. The passenger side on the front stripped in the process of getting it off or loosened. So I need to replace all 4 of the bleeder screws. So something new to fix. And yeah, it's pretty frustrating, dude. Every time I touch this truck, there's something new that needs to be messed with. But I have a little bit of time left. I'm going to at least start with the driver door. Doesn't shut, and then you gotta really slam it to get it shut. The bottom kind of pokes out just a little bit, and the top is way too far in. But it doesn't shut like this. The door is too low. So I know that I can jack it up a little bit to where it'll at least shut. And then I just have another trick I saw. You either put an extension over this or a board in here, and then you basically, like, since I need the top to come out, I would put a board up here, put the door on it, try to shut the door on it, and basically like push on the bottom of the door to get the door to kind of twist. I can't believe that's how they align these doors, but everywhere I looked, that's how you do it. So gonna give it a shot and see what we get. Okay, so we're still inward on the top, but shuts. Okay, gotta give it a little bit, but not. Okay, so it worked a little bit. We're a little bit looser on the top than we are on the bottom. Not much. I feel like that coincides with tilting the door a little bit more. Now this inward deal means I need to put a board or block somewhere in here in the door jamb and basically kind of bend the bottom of the door in to kind of tweak the door out. I'm not really motivated to do that today. Maybe another day. But the fact that I got the door a little bit closer to shutting properly, that's satisfying. It's getting a little late. I need to kind of get cleaned up and get in there in the house and help the wifey out with baby boy. So I think I am going to go in the house and grab the tablet. I have it charging, and take this girl for a spin around the block at least to see if I did anything to the brakes, and then we'll probably go ahead and call it a day there. Didn't seem like I got much done. Pretty much didn't. If the brakes are nice, then, you know, at least I got that accomplished, and I got the driver's side door decent. You can see this door is kind of doing the same thing. It's pitched in real bad. And to give you an example, okay, it wants to act right now. That's weird. What the hell? It's like it's hanging up. That's really weird. Might need to replace that. If the door shuts, at least. Okay. Apparently, I don't know what I'm talking about. But anyways, let me go in there and get the tablet, and let's see if we can go for a little ride at least. we got the old girl fired up. And we're gonna go for a ride. Well, I at least got the brake pedal back, so that's satisfying. Still need an alignment. It pulls pretty good to the right. But guys, it's just if you have projects or a few of them, you probably know what I'm going through right now. If you're younger and you've never really had a full-blown project, let me tell you guys, it's a roller coaster. I mean, you make a couple steps of progress, and then you do some work, and then you see something that's wrong, and then you're like, crap, gotta go back and fix that. It's just a constant battle, guys. So this shit for sure ain't for the weak. If you ever thought you could just throw money at something and it just all worked perfect, and it does, you're a lucky person. But for the rest of us, it's a process. It is a long, painful process. But she's running pretty decent, so we're gonna do a little sunset cruise here. I say sunset, but she's sounding good, running where she's supposed to, 50 mile an hour, about 1500 RPM. She's in overdrive, coolant's where it needs to be, trans temp's still cold, but I question that reading because it never gets over like 140, and either it's true and the trans isn't getting warm enough and my cooler is too efficient, or that's not reading correctly. I don't know which one it is. I don't know if I want to know at this point. But yeah, let's get on her a little bit, see what she got. On the bottom, and then when it gets up top it kind of kicks in. That's crazy. But see, like, even with all that, I probably drove about 5 miles now. Trans is only showing 120 degrees, with ain't no way. I know that ain't right. It can't be right. It can't be. It's like 60 degrees today, so it's a little cooler, but I know that ain't right. I know it ain't. Got a little pep in it though. So see, after all that, coolant never got over 194, so that big diesel radiator is doing its job, and the NNBS fan shroud. But after all that, did a couple pulls, the trans is only at 140 degrees, which we all know either that's not right or I'm not getting warm enough, which I only have that itty bitty trans cooler, so I wouldn't think it does that much of a job, but maybe it does, I don't know. But anyways, yeah, let's get out of the truck. Let me give you all a little update and see what I think I'm gonna do next. so the drive went good. Got my brakes back. I noticed that when I did bleed them, really I only got to bleed the back two and the passenger front. The driver's side rear, I had it open with pressure on it for like 10-15 seconds before any fluid came through, so that was for sure probably the problem side. Before I go to mess with it again, I'm going to go ahead and order all 4 bleeder screws, get brand new ones. That way I can foobar, which they're already pretty much foobarred, but I can yank those out, put fresh ones in. Hopefully they seal better. We'll see. And I'm gonna go on the hunt. Don't mind my old scaly reptilian looking ass. Got me a fat sunburn a couple days ago and it beat my ass. So I'm gonna start looking for a tranny pan. Figure out whether they're supposed to use a gasket or RTV or what. That's if you guys remember, that's a built transmission that cost a pretty penny in my opinion. It was like, I think I cashed them out at like $2,200 between the converter and the transmission, and I'm trying to take care of it. I'd hate to run it dry on fluid or some shit, who knows what. So I'm gonna start looking for a training pan. Probably used one might be fine. I'll look at new ones. If they're not that expensive, then I'll get a new one. But start looking for that. I'm gonna let the front cover continue to seep oil. What I'll probably end up doing on that one, whenever I get ready for that, I'll probably go ahead and pull the whole engine and transmission out, because I really don't want to separate the engine and transmission again. I'll probably go ahead and rip the whole thing out and switch to an F-body oil pan. That way it's quite a bit more shallow, and I won't have to worry about these wonderful Oklahoma roads and hitting a little who knows what and cracking that oil pan. That would just really make me happy. But that will probably be way down the road. I own a Subaru WRX, so I'm really good at keeping an eye on my oil level. So yeah, I'll probably leave that alone. Just keep checking the oil, keep it topped off. It doesn't leak, like it's not enough to drip. It won't drip if it's parked. It only seeps if it's running. So that should be pretty easy to stay on top of, and I know it's there, so I'm going to keep an eye on it and not let it get too out of hand. If I notice it starts leaking pretty good, then we'll park it and get ready to do that at that time. But the next few things I want to do, for sure get that tranny pan figured out. I've got to save up. I got quoted to do a monster notch. The guy's going to cut the IHC notch out that me and James welded in. He's going to cut it out, weld in his monster notch, do 2 crossbars, and then do a vertical shock relocation, so the shocks will be vertical. And he said by doing that, he was like, dude, trust me, it'll ride so much nicer like that. So saving up for that. It's going to take me a minute. I also started a new job again. I got let go at my last job on some BS, and we're not going to talk about it. So starting a new job Monday, I'm working at it's Line X Customs here in OKC. I'll be going over there, and basically all they do is work on like new dealer cars. Like if you see a new car on a dealership floor that has like a lift kit or a drop, or like Jeeps, they put steps on the Jeeps, and basically all the accessories and little stuff, you know, for dealers. So that'll be cool. I got to start acquiring tools for that. They're gonna help me get started, but I've got to buy tools, and y'all know that costs some money. So I got to do that. But you know, he says once I get my feet wet and get in there and get pretty good going at it, I might be able to bring some new things to the table, because they outsource for 12-volt stuff, and I happen to be really decent at 12-volt stuff, and they use all brand new like plug and play kits, like remote starts and stuff like that. It's all plug and play harnesses. So I'm like, that's cake, I can do that. So basically, like once I get going, I'll be hourly. But after I get pretty established and show that, you know, I can handle some shit, I'll switch over to flag hours. And I tend to be a go-getter, and especially if it's new vehicles, not old hunks of shit that are foobarred. I should be able to, you know, make some pretty decent money doing that. So I'm excited for that. It's a new opportunity. I'm also getting back to cars, being around cars and stuff like that, so that'll be good. And other than that, Ashley's doing good. We just passed the 5-week mark with Preston last Thursday. It's Saturday today, so he's a little over a month old now. We're still not getting sleep worth of crap. He's waking up about every 2 hours or so through the night still, but we're getting there. He's healthy. Everything's going well. We're dealing with some gassy issues, but we're getting them figured out, and we found some solutions to it, so that's cool. And he's growing, he's gaining weight, he's getting taller, and it's going really well. So for all you guys that have kept up with me on like Instagram and Facebook and Snapchat, y'all kind of know I don't really talk about Ashley or Preston too much, but yeah, other than that, life's decent. It's been a mess, you know, since I got let go about 2 weeks ago now. I had a little temporary job this last week and it didn't work out, and then luckily some guys came through and hooked me up with a job that I start Monday. So gonna get into that, get set up there, get dug in, and hopefully get some money flowing pretty good and try to get back on the truck for you guys. I know you guys have been asking a bunch, like, hey, where you been, what's been going on? And life was so hectic getting ready for Preston. It hit the pocketbook pretty hard, and you know, with the lack of sleep we've had in the past month and the last few months of pregnancy, I didn't have the motivation or energy to come out here and play with the truck. But took a break. After that drive, I'm glad I went for a drive, because that kind of helped spark up, like, okay, you know, at least it runs and drives. Like, we can go down the street. It's got some little problems, but we can go down the street in it. So that tells me we're close. Just got some odds and ends stuff to keep going on and just keep chipping away at it. So I appreciate you guys for all your support over these past couple years. Y'all have not stopped. Y'all keep sending me messages and checking on me and seeing what's going on, and I really appreciate that. That means a lot, you know, because a lot of you guys I've never met, I may never meet. You know, you guys are across the country and y'all give a crap, so that's pretty cool. And I do appreciate that. Old Whitebeard still got his parts stacked up for his 6.0 to go in the OBS. We'll get around to it. You know, they've had some life things going on too, so, you know, it's just with all the inflation and gas prices and all that, everybody's getting kind of hit rough right now. So we all just got to hang in there and keep pushing and get it in where we can. So on that note, guys, I'm gonna quit jabbing. I see I'm about 9 minutes in on this one, so I really appreciate y'all for tuning in, sticking with me all this time, and we'll keep going. We'll get some more stuff going as I can. I get some little side jobs here and there. I'll get some little side money. Basically, I've decided all my side money can go to the truck. So whatever little side jobs I get, or if I can do some garage sale flipping, I'm going to be getting into that this summer with James. That'll help me have some hot rod money. So other than that, guys, thank y'all for tuning in. Peace out. Be human. We'll see you later.